Students, myself Murali Krishna, faculty of physics. Today I am discussing about Newton's laws of motion. Newton's laws of motion. Newton described three laws of motion, that is Newton's first law of motion, Newton's second law of motion, and Newton's third law of motion. First we will talk about Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion. First statement of the Newton's first law of motion, either state of rest or uniform motion along the straight line unless the external force acting on it. That is the statement of the Newton's first law of motion. Either state of rest or uniform motion along the straight line unless external force acting on a body. In case the state of the body change or tries to change by the application of external force. First, what is the statement of the Newton's first law of motion? If there is no external force acting on a body, the body continues to be in state of rest or uniform motion. That is the statement of the Newton's first law of motion. That is either state of rest or uniform motion along the straight line. This is very, very important. Along the straight line unless external force acting on your body. That is the statement of the Newton's first law of motion. Here the state of the body change or try to change by the application of the external force. If some external force acting on your body, the body will be changed state of rest or uniform motion. Try to change whatever it may be. That is the second one only. Here the state of the body changes or try to change by the application of the external force. Here Newton's first law of motion defined as force and inertia. Understood all of you? Next, what is force, what is inertia according to Newton's first law of motion? What is force? The force is a physical quantity that change or tries to change the state of the body, state of rest or uniform motion along the straight line. The force is a physical quantity that change or try to change the state of rest or uniform motion along the straight line. This is the definition of the force according to Newton's first law of motion. Next to inertia. The inability of a body change by itself the state of rest or uniform motion. Here, what is the inertia? The inability of your body change by itself the state of rest or uniform motion. That is the definition of the inertia according to Newton's first law of motion. Once again, Newton's first law is defined as force and inertia. First one is a force. Force is a physical quantity that change or try to change the state of the rest or uniform motion along the straight line. That is, this is the definition of the force according to Newton's first law of motion. Next, inertia, then the inability of your body change by itself the state of rest or uniform motion. This is the definition of the inertia according to Newton's first law of motion. Before going to Newton's second law of motion, what is momentum? Momentum is denoted by capital P. What is the definition of the momentum? The total quantity of motion contained in a body is called as a momentum. The total quantity of motion contained in a body is called momentum. Mathematical formula the product of mass and velocity is also called as momentum. Here momentum is depending on the two factors, that is mass of the body and velocity of the body. Here momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. Here P is equal to mv. Here momentum is a vector quantity because velocity is a vector quantity. Next, SI units of the momentum is, what is the units of mass? Kg. Velocity is meter per second. Kg meter per second. CGS system gram centimeter per second. Next, dimensional formula of momentum m power 1 L power 1 T power minus 1. This is the dimensional formula of momentum. Once again, what is momentum? The total quantity of motion contained in a body is called as a momentum. Momentum is denoted by capital P. Next, momentum is depending on the two factors, that is mass and velocity of the body. And another definition is that the product of mass and velocity is also called as momentum. Momentum P is equal to mass into velocity, that is P is equal to mv. Here velocity is a vector quantity, that's why total momentum also is a vector quantity. SI units of momentum is kg meter per second and CGS units of the momentum is gram centimeter per second. Dimensional formula of momentum is ml T power minus 1. Next to change in momentum. Once again listen here. Here this is one of the object. Mass of the object is m. The object is moving with some initial velocity u. After somewhat time, the body reaches some another place. Mass is does not change. Mass of the body is constant. After reach the final velocity v. Here, final velocity is greater than initial velocity. Here, what is the momentum? Here, initial momentum Pi is equal to mu. That is the initial momentum. And final momentum Pf is equal to mv. Then what is the change in momentum? Change in momentum is denoted by delta p. That is, here final momentum is greater than initial momentum. That's why final momentum minus initial momentum, Pf minus Pi. Then delta p is equal to here mv minus mu. This is the change in momentum. In changing momentum, some cases is there. The first case is this is wall. Okay, is there one ball? Mass of the ball is m. The ball is moving with some initial velocity or moving with some velocity vi. After some time, the ball strike the wall here. After strike the ball is comes to rest position. Final velocity of the ball is vi. Vf is equal to 0. Mass is this one only. What is the changing momentum question here? Here one ball is there. The mass of the ball is m. The velocity of the ball is vi. After some time strike the ball. After striking the ball comes to rest position. Final velocity of the ball is 0. That's why final momentum of the body is also 0. Then what is the change in momentum question here? Here change in momentum delta p is equal to mv minus mu, or delta p is equal to pf minus pi. Here delta p is equal to final momentum will be 0 because of a final velocity will be 0 now. That's why this term total will be 0. 0 minus mvi. Then delta p is equal to minus mv. Here momentum is always is positive. The magnitude of the momentum is equal to delta p mod is equal to mv. That is the change in momentum of the body, change in momentum of the ball. And second case, second one, the same wall, mass of this is one wall. The ball of the mass is m, velocity is v. After striking the ball is rebouncing with same velocity. Then you find out the change in momentum. Means the ball is, mass of the ball is m, velocity of the ball is v. After striking the ball is written back into same way. Means rebounds the ball with same velocity. Ante before striking velocity, after striking velocity, both are same. Then find the final momentum of the final changing momentum of the body. Here delta p is equal to mv minus mu formula. Then delta p is equal to final momentum of the body is mv, and rebouncing now, that's why minus initial momentum also is mv. Then delta p is equal to, here what is this here, minus mv minus here m will be common, minus 2 mv. Then modulus of the p momentum is always positive, that's why 2 mv. This is the change in momentum of the body after striking the ball. In case of the same situation, before striking velocity, after striking velocity is different. Then you find out the momentum of the changing momentum of the body. Then delta p is equal to, that is case 3. Case delta p is equal to mv minus mv2 mv1. Then here v1, this is v2. Then delta p is equal to, here minus m common, v1 plus v2. Here modulus of the momentum, or modulus of the momentum always positive, that's why m v1 plus v2. This is the final momentum of the body after striking the wall. Here two before striking, after striking velocities both are same, then what is the change in momentum here? Change in momentum is equal to 2mv. Before striking, after striking, velocity is different. In case of change in momentum is equal to m into v1 plus v2. Next fourth case, last fourth case is okay, when a ball is striking to the wall with some angle like this, with some angle, theta, velocity is v. After striking, the ball is moving in this direction. This velocity also same v. This velocity also v. Here this angle theta, this angle also theta. It's all theta theta, whatever it may be. Here this velocity is resolving into two components, that is horizontal component and vertical component. Here horizontal component is will take initial velocity u, final velocity v. Horizontal component velocity u cos theta and vertical component is u sin theta. After striking, the ball returned back into somewhat place na. Here also this velocity also resolving into two components, that is vertical component is v sin theta, horizontal component is v cos theta. Then what is the momentum here? Here momentum already you know formula. Initial momentum, change in momentum is final momentum minus initial momentum. First of all, initial momentum pi is equal to, here initial m, mass of the body is m, initial momentum is u cos theta I bar plus u sin theta j bar. Because of here sin theta is along the y axis, cos theta is along the x axis, that's why here this angle both are same. This angle also same. Both are parallel to each other na. That's why this both angles are equal. Here next to final momentum Pf is equal to m rebouncing. That's why minus u cos theta I bar plus u sin theta j bar. What is the change in momentum here? Velocity both are same, u or v. Here u v is equal v. That's why u sin theta I bar plus u cos theta or v, whatever it may be, we will take v or u. We will take u only. Also u. Both velocity are equal. That's why here initial momentum of the body p is equal m into u cos theta I bar plus u sin theta and j bar. Final momentum of the body is m into minus u cos theta I bar, because of the ball is bouncing reback along the x axis. Y axis does not change. Y axis is constant. This 2 is constant always. This 2 is constant. Then what is the change in momentum? Delta p is equal to final momentum minus initial momentum. That's why this two term will be cancelled. Finally m into u cos theta minus u cos theta minus u cos theta into j cap. Delta I have delta p is equal to m u cos theta. This is the final momentum of the final changing momentum of the body. Next, Newton's second law of motion. Second one. Newton's second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. That is the definition of the or statement of the Newton's second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force. Then F is directly proportional to the dp by dt. Already you know, according to momentum definition, P is equal to mv na, then F is equal to K into dP by dt. Here K is always numerically equal to 1, then F is equal to dP by dt, then F is equal to d by dt of mv. Okay, this mv differentiating, then F is equal to m dv by dt plus v dm by dt. In most of the cases, mass is constant. Differentiating with mass is 0. M is constant na, that's why then m dv by dt plus 0. This term whole total will be 0. Then F is equal to m into the rate of change of velocity is called as a acceleration. F equal to ma. This is the Newton's second law of motion. Okay, here F is equal to m dv by dt plus m dm by dt is also applicable when in case of variable mass system. When variable mass system, this equation is can be applicable. That variable mass system example is motion of the rocket. Motion of the rocket. Once again, here what is the statement of the Newton's second law of motion? Here the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. Here the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. Then F is the directly proportional to the dP by dt. Here F is equal to proportional constant is taken as k into dP by dt. Here numerically k is equal to 1 always. Then F is equal to dP by dt. F is equal to d by dt of P is equal to mv na, that's why mv. Differences with respect to mass one time, difference with respect to v one time, then F is equal to m dv by dt plus v dm by dt. Here mass always constant in this case, then this term total will be 0, then F is equal to m dv by dt equal plus 0. Here F is equal to the rate of change of velocity is called as acceleration, that's why F equal to ma. Okay, this equation F is equal to m dv by dt plus v dm by dt na, this equation also applicable when in case of variable mass system. That example is motion of the rocket. On the time this equation also can be applicable. Okay, what is the SI units of the force is here, what is the units of mass? Kg. Here acceleration is meter per second square. Here kg meter per second square is also called as newtons, denoted by capital N. CGS system, gram centimeter per second square. Gram centimeter per second square is also called as dyne. Here force is a vector quantity. Force is a vector quantity. Dimensional formula of force is m power 1 L power 1 T power minus 2. This is the dimensional formula of force. And next, the relation between Newton and dyne. Here 1 Newton is equal to, already know, kg meter per second square. Then 1 Newton is equal to kg means how many grams? 1000 grams into 1 meter government centimeter, 100 centimeter per second square. Then 1 Newton is equal to 10 cube into 10 square gram centimeter per second square. Here gram centimeter per second square is also called as dyne. Then 1 Newton equal to 10 power 5 dyne. That is the relation between Newton and dyne. And next, impulse. Impulse is denoted by capital I. Okay, suppose మనం ఎప్పుడైనా కార్లో ట్రావెల్ చేస్తున్నాము అనుకోండి, వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు సడన్గా ఏదైనా మన కార్కి అడ్డం వస్తే వి అప్లయింగ్ breaks, the body is immediately comes to rest. Means here, what is the, that is the first one. And the second one is, when an object is throw from the house, అంటే ఒక మిద్దె పై నుంచి ఒక హౌస్ పై నుంచి కిందికి వేసామనుకోండి, కిందికి వచ్చాక పెద్ద శబ్దంతో కింద పడుతుంది. వాట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ అబౌట్ హియర్? లార్జ్ ఫోర్స్ అప్లయింగ్ ఆన్ ద ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఇన్ షార్ట్ ఇంటర్వల్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్, then that is called as a impulse. The large force applied on the object in short interval of time is called as a impulse. Already you know, large force, impulse I is equal to large force into short interval of time. The product of force and time is also called as impulse. Now this is a force is large, time is very small, then that is taken as impulse. Already you know, already F is equal to delta P by delta T, you know, then F into delta T is equal to delta P. Now from this is a replacement, write down delta P also, means change in momentum is also called as impulse. Finally I is equal to F into delta T is equal to delta P. This is impulse change in momentum equation. I is equal to F into delta T equal to change in momentum. From this equation here, impulse I is equal to integral T1 to Tt F into dt or delta T is equal to change in momentum. This means here we'll take one graph. Here time t somewhat, here time 2, t1 to t2 somewhat area. This area under crowd F into t is numerically is equal to impulse. This is a very very important. Here one problem is there. Initially at rest, the body initially at rest. Here some force acting on your body, that force is F is equal to F naught 1 minus 2t minus t by t whole square. What is the velocity of the body after 5 seconds? That is the question. Here then I is equal to 0 to t, initially at rest, after reach the somewhat place, after time is t. Okay, here what is that? F into dt. From this one 0 to t F naught 1 minus 2t minus t by t whole square. Then I is equal to 0 to t into dt. F naught dt minus 0 to t, F naught కామన్ తీస్తే t స్క్వేర్ అవుతుంది. t స్క్వేర్ అవుతే నెక్స్ట్ 2t మైనస్ t హోల్ స్క్వేర్ dt ఉంటుంది. దెన్ హియర్ I is equal to F naught t minus F naught by t square is constant. Here 2t minus t whole cubed by 3 into 0 to t. Then I is equal to F naught t minus here F naught by t square. Here first applying the upper limit minus lower limit. Upper limit means here ఇక్కడ హోల్ క్యూబ్ నా టీ ఇక్కడ అప్లై చేసామనుకోండి, టీ ఇక్కడ అయితే 2t మైనస్ టీ ఏమవుతుంది, టీ అవుతుంది, టీ క్యూబ్డ్ బై 3 అవుతుంది. t cubed by 3 minus minus plus 2 t3 by 3. Then I is equal to f naught t minus f naught by t square 2 t cubed by 3. Then I is equal to f naught t minus t cubed t square cancel. Finally here 2 f naught by 3, 2 f naught t. Then I is equal to 3 f naught LCM t na minus 2 f naught t by 3. Then I is equal to f naught t by 3. That is the change in momentum. Change in momentum here I is equal to f naught t 3 by equal to delta p. Then delta p means mv. Mv is equal to f naught t by 3. Then velocity v is equal to then f naught t by 3 m mass. Then v is equal to time enta 5 seconds, that's why 5 f naught by 3 m. This is the final velocity of the object. Next, Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion. What is the statement of the Newton's third law of motion? Every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Every action there is equal and opposite reaction. That is the statement of the Newton's third law of motion. Here both action and reaction force acting on a body, reacting on different bodies, not one single body. Here both action and reaction force acting on a different bodies. For example, here this is A, is B, object A, object B, some force acting on this object A. The source total momentum is total momentum means total two object moving with some acceleration A. Okay, here some force acting on we can write down differently. This is object A, this is object B. Okay na, here some force acting on A object A. Here that A object some force acting on B, that is FBA. Here some force acting on A due to B, here that is FAB. All are understood here? Once again, sir, that A object some force acting on B, B object also some force acting on A, that is this is a reaction force, this is reaction force. Then action force is equal to minus reaction. That is Newton's third law of motion. Once again, here every action there is equal to opposite reaction. That is the statement of the Newton's third law of motion. Okay, both action and reaction force acting on different bodies, not single body. For example, here A and B, the system is both are contact each other. Some force acting on object A, the both object moving with some acceleration A. Here some force you can two objects write separately. Here A object some force acting on B, B object also some force acting on A. This is a action force, yes, reaction force. That's why action force is equal to minus reaction. That is Newton's third law of motion. Next, one problem is there. Suppose This is one of the object mass is 10 kg 10 placed on the smooth horizontal surface. Here some force under 20 newtons force acting on your body. The object moving with some acceleration a. Then you find out the displacement and velocity after some time, after 5 seconds. Once again, initially the object is at rest. Mass of the object is 10 kgs. Some force acting on object, that mass is 20 newtons. Okay, what is the acceleration of the system first, and then you find out the displacement of the body and velocity of the body after 5 seconds. That is the question. According to Newton's second law of motion, F equal to ma, then A is equal to F by m. Then A is equal to how much is force is there? 20 newtons by 10 kg. Finally equal to 2 meter per second square. That is the acceleration. Next, you already know initially at rest, that is initial velocity u equal to 0, acceleration a is equal to 2 meter per second square, mass m is equal to 10 kg, force F is equal to 20 newtons. Then find out the time t is equal to 5 seconds given. Find out the final velocity. Final velocity formula v is equal to u plus at formula. Then v is equal to initial velocity at rest. Initially at rest, the 0 plus 2 into 5. Then v is equal to 2 is a 2 meter per second square is the acceleration. So time is 5 seconds. So 5 to is a 10 meter per second. This is the final velocity of the body after 5 seconds. Next, displacement formula s is equal to ut plus half at square. Then s is equal to initial velocity will be 0. Then half into 2 into 5 square. 2 to cancel. S is equal to 25 meters. Means after 5 seconds the body is displaced is 25 meters and the final velocity is 10 meter per second square. Understood all of you? Okay.